Hello, everybody. Good morning. I hope everybody's fine today. I am with Yaroslav Dubov, who is the founder and CEO of Ninjalender. So Ninjalender is a Ukrainian fintech team with global aspirations. They're building a B2B marketplace that gives a second chance for rejected loans. Good morning, Yaroslav. How are you today?
Hi, Mike. I'm fine. It's good morning and it's Friday, so it was a hard week
Yeah,
and we worked a
yeah,
lot.
yeah. It's
So
been a long, hard week, and due a relaxing weekend at home for a
actually,
change.
I work 7 days per week, but I work less on Saturdays and Sundays, especially on
Hmm.
Sundays. I try to make like one day off on Sundays, but sometimes I have to work even on Sundays. But still, Friday is good.
Yeah, well, it'd be a lot better if places were open. So not
Yes.
long now, though, I believe. So just to give our audience some background, Yaroslav was awarded the Best B2B FinTech Award during our March edition of Wolf Summit Live. So we're going to find out what's happened on the Ninjalender journey since the summit, and Yaroslav's got some tips for fellow founders on dealing with innovation departments.
Yes, we won this award in the end of March.
Yep. Hmm.
And our plan was to launch our platform with lending companies in Poland on
Hmm.
31st of March. And a few days before, the government in Poland, they provided a new law, regulations. And this current situation has led and affected the lending companies in Poland. So since March, we have been waiting for our partners to start integrations with us, and as they had to react to the consequences of those regulations in Poland.
Hmm.
And this means that we have to postpone our pilot for 2 months, as our partners are working hard on creating new products, new business models for Poland, for the Polish market. But like we still keep being optimistic for about our further launch, and I
Yeah.
believe that we passed through the most difficult part, and our pilot is going to happen in May.
Okay. So
31st of May.
can you explain more to me what restrictions or adjustments did the Polish government enact in the lending
They
space?
wanted to protect people in Poland, and they limited the interest rate for lending business, so you cannot
Hmm.
charge more than 5, 7, 8% per month. And it's okay for banks, but it's not good for high risk businesses as lending companies. So of course, all lending companies had to do something with their risk policies and scoring models.
Hmm.
And the major part of the traffic was not uh, important like for them. So one of our clients, they told us that, like we could buy tens of thousands applications per day because no one want to buy it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. So in the debts market at the moment, is there a huge glut, an oversupply of portfolios that nobody wants to buy? Yeah.
Yeah, because these companies don't know how to issue loans for these borrowers if they obliged to charge this small interest rate.
Hmm.
So they changed the products, and so maybe a few of them still buying traffic in Poland, but 90% of them that like very, I don't know, low mod.
Hmm. And so when you mention the buying the traffic, so who are your major clients and institutions that you work with that would take on these portfolios from Poland?
For this pilot, we were focused on lending companies,
Mhm.
but of course, the platform could be used by banks as well. It just takes much more time to establish cooperation with banks.
Okay.
So this is like lending companies. So if you need money for 30 days, and bank rejected you, you can go to Latin companies and take a couple of thousand Polish zloty for 30 days. And you will pay, let's say, a couple of hundreds on top in a month.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so do you see that? Have you, do you have any indication when the restrictions will be relaxed by, Polish regulations?
It's difficult to predict now. I know that they, at the moment at least, they accepted this law for a year.
Uh-huh.
This like regulations, and it was like actually it was a number of waves. So they made one law, then another one, then third. So they improved this, and every time these Latin companies had to react and implement these new rules to the businesses. So they spent the whole April just to fit to this. Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult to predict now when we will go to normal life.
Mm-hmm.
All of
And
us.
you're due to launch the platform at the end of May, yeah, the 31st.
Yeah, so like we are going to launch is like our platform is one seller and one buyer, at least to test and validate something, and then hopefully we can add more partners in June, July, August, and
Okay, and what's the biggest headache for you trying to reach the key decision makers at, financial institutions within Poland?
I think in general it would be nice for us to find a Polish co-founder with banking experience who can understand how banks works inside. Actually, we are going to look for this guy in Poland. So maybe if someone who knows want to join us, please send me a message on LinkedIn. So the idea that we need this experienced guy who can help us to open doors to banks, and also a challenge is the cooperation with innovation teams for us, because it's quite difficult to move things forward with them, and I can send messages and no reply for a month. So I don't know why. And with Latin companies, it's a way easier because they focus on business. They are not so big. It's actually like 5, 10, 20 people in the company. So it's much easier. But still, we need a local guy who speaks Polish and know the cultural code of Poland, of Polish.
Yeah. The cultural code is easy here. You just need to learn to love paperwork. So lots of writing is in order.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's everywhere. The bureaucracy here is it's well known, and it can actually be quite a hurdle for many. I know it's a common complaint I hear from many startup founders, and indeed people in business. It's just like just a wall of paperwork a lot of the time. So how are you, this is quite a good question because I'm sure other founders are going through the same situation. How are you replacing all of the in-person events that you would have traditionally attended to meet with investors and, like you mentioned, to find an ideal business partner? How are you trying to navigate this climate without that possibility?
This is a good part of this epidemic because we had internet and we have internet, so we can continue to communicate and we can meet each other online. So, and we have Facebook and LinkedIn and many different platforms. So I don't think that the communication is the biggest problem for us. Maybe the biggest problem that all people feel that the future unpredictable. And for example, investors mostly focused on their own portfolios. So they are they are not so open to invest in new startups, especially in these times. So like you extra have to prove that you can survive also in these times as a startup. So if we will launch our platform these times, it will prove that Ninjalender is a good idea, even in the crisis time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, in some ways, you'll have a there'll be a rising level of bad debt over the coming months and years. So I think your business model is actually well positioned. But obviously, as you've pointed out, until you've got a POC in place and some initial customers, it's going to be difficult to, especially at this time, secure investment. Yeah.
Yes, it's true. At least in Poland, which also is the good part of being in Poland, that Poland is good in like there are a lot of support from government. I mean, so government has different programs for investors as well, so they can support investors to invest. And I know that the European Union is going to also help Poland with money, and it's quite huge amount of money. So hopefully with time, the money flow will be okay here again, and it will be easy.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, obviously there's huge numbers being thrown around from Brussels, so that's a good point. Have you, as Ninjalender, have you taken advantage of any of the public schemes here in Poland to support the business?
Sorry, what do you mean?
So did you receive any grant aid, R&D, etc. at the first stages?
Yes, we were selected for the Poland Prize program, powered by huge thing in Moscow. The program took place from October till end of January, 4 months.
Okay.
And then we had 3 months of post acceleration. So yes, many thanks to government and PFR and European Union, and huge thing. Yeah.
Okay. And at this point in time, is there any other schemes that you can apply to, in the current climate?
Yes, we can apply for some programs, but I don't feel that we are a good fit, because this program are focused on maybe deep tech, or maybe construct like something when you have to produce maybe something more or less. So we are fintech, we are platform, like software. We can try, of course. Why not?
Yeah. And I actually, do you know Joanna Misiewicz from PKO Bank Polski? So they just released the Startup the Bank report. So
Yeah,
I know that they're probably a very good point of contact, because they're one of the most active banks in the fintech space here in Poland.
Yeah, I met them twice. First time was at InfoShare in Gdańsk a year ago, and the second one was in December. I would like to continue to talk with them. I sent a couple of messages, but no reply. So this is a part of the challenge with innovation team. I guess they are very overloaded. Maybe they got thousands of requests from startups every week, and I don't know.
Yeah, no, during an interview with Sunfish VC a few days ago, the biggest complaint that investors are making at the moment is that a lot of startups are just carpet bombing, globally every investor or VC they can identify. So yeah, I imagine that most VCs are, or even, startup ecosystem partners are probably waking up to a inbox overloaded with requests.
So the season of a big hunting for investment started.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there will be. I mean, there are. It's not all doom and gloom. There are active investors at the moment, but for sure they are the minority. But again, it's as you identified. A lot of people are just there's the fear of the unknown. So the decision-making process is massively delayed. But I believe that by the end of this year, things should, at least start coming back to a semblance of normality.
Yes. We all like in this society, we all connected to each other. Like, so I hope that we will pass through this soon, in the months maybe.
Yeah, no, I mean, fingers crossed, and the whole ecosystem will come out stronger on the other side. So let's keep a optimistic viewpoint.
Yes.
And on that note, Yaroslav, have you got any tips that you'd like to, to give to fellow founders? Perhaps founders that are at an even earlier stage than Ninjalender. What would your top tips be?
I think everyone has to find this based on his own experience.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is some kind of personal recipe for every person. But let's say for the last maybe month, I realized how it's important to build something based on real customers' feedback.
Okay.
So it seems obviously, but you can be so engaged on your idea, so you may don't put so much attention on this, or you can believe that. Of course, it's like people need this. So like the idea to communicate as your potential customers as much as possible, as early as possible, and also you need to find the balance between how much do you believe in yourself, in your idea, and what is reality actually.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be flexible to change your idea and make a pivot maybe, or start a new startup and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I hear you, and I know that a lot of startups have given that feedback to us. Obviously, after each virtual event, we go to the market and find out, okay, what do we need to adjust? And the resounding sentiment is that there's a lot of pivoting going on right now. So, if you've got a great team, it's relatively simple just to pivot and adjust your offer to meet the situation.
And also maybe important, like it's also like seems obviously, but the very important question, why? So you actually start from, okay, what and how, and then why. So the very important question to ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why my team is doing this? Why are we going to spend next years on this? Like, why? Like, it's not easy to be a startup, right? So you have a nomad, have I don't know. So you can have income, you cannot have income. Like it's difficult to predict your future, and of course, if you have family, it's much more difficult. So yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. No, it was hard. It was hard to begin with, and now it's exponentially harder. So, but we will, we'll get through this as as we always have. So, just keep our chins up and move forward.
Yeah, and I think it's also a good time for learning, for studying something new. So a lot of online courses, so you can like widen your, I don't know, knowledge, your interest, so you can become an expert in something interest as well. So
interior decoration.
for example, like now I'm listening a course about justice by Harvard, and it's quite interesting because I would recommend this course.
Brilliant. No, great tips, Yaroslav, and thank you for your time today. We'll be in touch as always, and look forward to seeing you in person, hopefully sometime soon.
Thank you, Mike, for this interview. and it's a honor for me to participate. Thank you.
You're welcome, Yaroslav. Best of luck and stay positive.
Bye-bye, Mike.
Cheers. Bye-bye.